Moving on from the NFL, we're going to talk about college football.
Yep.
Real quick, college football just entered the playoffs. One thing to say is that Alabama, for the first time in years, are not involved in the playoff traditions as what they
Good.
normally are. Good. Fuck them. I don't like
Good.
Alabama.
It's justice. If they made it in over SMU, I think that would have been a malpractice to the sport. I swear to God, I truly mean that.
The thing is, I was honestly thinking they were going to get over SMU. To be
That-
complete,
Of course, because it's Bama. Everybody wants to always assume, oh, it's Bama. They're gonna just get in, right? No, fuck that. You got to work for it. I think SMU deserved to be in over them this year.
and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. SMU is playing who the
SMU is playing Penn State round one.
which is a very tough matchup.
Yep,
And
very tough.
this is one thing I'm going to say about the college football playoffs is that Penn State have quite an easy line to the Final Four games
Emmys, yeah.
because they win. Well, it's not easy, but they win against SMU. Then they're gonna go to Boise State
Yep.
or wherever that game is being played and play Boise State, and they will
Mhm.
be favored in that game because even though Boise State, because the matchups that the Mountain Conference is completely different to the Big Ten Conference.
Massively.
So we're gonna see like how good Boise State actually is, though.
They do have a Heisman. They have potentially the Heisman winner on that bad boy.
I know, which is I would love to see that game, uh, Penn State
Boise.
versus Boise State. That would be a great game. But the overall point of this is I want to know who do you think is going to be in the college football championship game and who's going to win.
So my college football championship game is actually going to be great because I have two potential winners and they're on opposite ends of the bracket. So I think it's going to be the championship. And I'm going to say it now. My championship, I think, is going to be Texas versus Penn State. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Texas versus Penn State. I think, like you said, it's not easy, but they do have two favorable matchups to begin with. Penn State, they're going to go against SMU week one. If they could get past that, they're going against Boise State, which, in all fairness, maybe you can argue Arizona State, but Boise State's probably the weakest out of the top four in that regard. And then in the semis, they're going to have to probably play Georgia, but Georgia's going to go against a tough, grinding game, whether it be Indiana or Notre Dame.
I
So,
believe it's Notre Dame.
well, it's going to be Indiana or Notre Dame. They're playing each other first. So, I think come semifinals, I think Penn State's going to be fresh. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to kick some Georgia Bulldog ass, and they're going to make their way into the championship. And then, if you want my honest opinion on who wins the championship,
If you say Penn State, I'll smack the shit out of you.
it will be the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Are you drunk? All
Nope, I am not.
right, all right. I'm gonna go what I want to happen and what is actually going to happen.
Oh, fuck that. Not want to happen. Say your
All right,
matchup and then
all
say
right.
who wins.
My honest matchup is because I'm just double checking if they verse each other.
I can tell you right. Well, yeah, go.
Uh, they're gonna be Oregon. Oregon will have to face Texas.
They would.
I think Oregon is going to be in the championship game. That's one thing I
Okay.
would say. I just need to
Okay.
double check on the other side of the bracket. And the one team who's very, I wouldn't say underrated, but they're coached very well is Notre Dame.
You think the Fighting Irish are going to take out Georgia?
I think the Fighting Irish are going to take out Georgia purely because we do not know what is going to go on with Carson Beck. Carson Beck, I what I saw during that game where his elbow, oh my god, that hurt me.
That that's fair, and that would make my Nittany Lions an even easier path to the championship.
I no, if let's just say if Notre Dame versus the Nittany Lions in, I'm telling you this right now, we can even have a side bet on that. Notre Dame is going to actually demolish them.
Oh, I am gonna bet so much money against you.
I do. That's it would be good to see, but I
Yeah.
do think that if it's Oregon versus Notre Dame, Oregon will take that championship because or I don't know how you do not have Oregon in the championship game. I really do not know. Dylan Gabriel is having a fucking phenomenal year. Their offense is ridiculous, even though they had a close game against Penn State, the Big Ten game. But
Chalk much?
but I do think that Oregon will capture this championship, their first technical college football playoff championship.
That's fair. No, look, the only reason I didn't say Oregon, and I think this is fair, right? Their first matchup is going to be probably some of the toughest teams to come out of the first round, Tennessee or Ohio State. Those are two really fucking good teams, right? Like Tennessee, I do think Tennessee edges them out just because they've been playing better as of late, even though Ohio State just won a big matchup. I get it, but I think that's going to be a tough one to begin with. And then on top of that, you're going to have to go against in the semifinals either Arizona State or Texas, which is not no easy task. They have a very tough side of the bracket. I just I think they're going to get their first loss before the championship. That's just my opinion.
You think they're going to get in the semis, or you think they're going to get in the quarters?
It's a great question. I think if they are going to lose before the final, it's going to be in the quarters.
And it'll be
Oh,
to Ohio State. You're saying?
Ohio State or Tennessee. Be I only say that because maybe they'll be a little rusty in the first half coming off of a bye.
Yeah,
That's my
that's
reasoning.
fair. That's fair to say. But the one thing I will say about Oregon is their coach is a different fucking breed. That guy is fucking insane. The shit he does, like for example, he brought up Bo Nix. How like he coached Bo Nix for pretty much his entire career. Well, not entire his career because I know Bo Nix bounced between teams like in the early stages, but he's a very good coach, and it's going to be hard to take him out in my eyes.
Absolutely. Look, this is just exciting because this is the first time college playoffs has been like this,
Yeah, I
right?
love
So
this. I love it like this.
I love it too because it shouldn't be just four teams, especially when in years past, and especially this year, you could see it. There were so many teams that deserved a chance to win it. And now you have that chance. And now you're going to have some insane matchups the first round. I truly I don't know if there's going to be a quote unquote blowout in the first round. The only one you can obviously argue is Texas Clemson. I don't think Clemson is that good. I think Texas is going to railroad them personally. But other than that, you're going to have some really good matchups. I truly think across the board, I don't think there's going to be a lot of like barn burners where you turn on the score and it's 45 to 10.
Yeah. The one thing I would love to see though, coming from Texas this playoff, I know it's like it would be pointless to do, but if like it's in a blowout game, I would like to see Arch in the game. I would like to
Yeah,
see Arch in the game.
the next generation of Manning, baby.
The reason why I'm saying this because Ewers is entering the draft this year.
And Ewers has not been playing that great.
Exactly, and if say God forbid you're versing Clemson, you're down 10 points going into half. I wouldn't shy against putting in Arch, in my opinion.
Look, this is the playoff, man. If you're down and you need a change of scenery, yeah, you make that move.
And
I get, I get this guy has been your starter all year in Ewers, and he's going into the draft. He's most likely going to be a first round pick. He's definitely strayed away from it the last few weeks,
yeah,
but this is the playoff. You got to do what you got to do to win.
yeah. I that's one thing I hope for because I would love to see Arch Manning in playoff like time because most of the players that are on their team this year, I think they are seniors or juniors. They have a lot of older guys on their team, so they could be entering the draft. So the team's not going to be the same next year. Obviously, recruiting classes are different, but I would like to see how he would match with this team in playoff like atmosphere. But overall, this college one, I'm so glad the college football changed the bracket because I forgot what team it was last year that got screwed out of the playoffs, the 14 playoffs, and it was an outrage. I think
It was
was it Florida State?
it was Florida State. But however, this year kind of proved that maybe the maybe the council was right.
Yeah, they're right. But in their defense, though, the reason why it was because it was Jordan Travis who got hurt. His like leg
Yeah,
went like
yeah. Look, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Derek taking the Oregon Duckies,
the
and
Duckies.
me taking the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Insane. That I would not out of all I would not expect you to say that team. Honestly, I thought honest to God, I thought you would have said like Georgia.
Nope, nope, nope,
Dude,
nope,
are
nope,
you a
nope.
I need to ask you before we talk about our picks. Are you a fan of Penn State?
I have had a cousin go to Penn State, so I have a little bit of bias. Like, but if I'm being truthful, I'm not a fan of any college team. I didn't go to a school that had a college football team, and I especially hated Rutgers, being in New Jersey and not going to Rutgers. So that's the only team I really dislike. All the other ones I kind of just I enjoy to watch.
Fair enough. Well, let's hope we will be talking about
In nature, who wins, a lion or a duck?
line.
Point made.
Shut
Next
the
topic.
fuck up. Well, overall, we will be talking about the college football playoffs as it proceeds, and then obviously
Yep,
talking about the games because this shit's gonna get crazy.
absolutely.
Well,